Alright, it is 10:32 a.m. and today's gonna suck in terms of how much I'm gonna be down on the day because all of the setups that I tried here with GPOX just did not work out. It just kept downtrending and failing, and it could probably drop a lot more. Maybe this is the very bottom, who knows? But I'm not gonna try this stock anymore just because I got burnt from it and I gave it a few tries and it just wasn't able to do it. I did try this for a morning panic bounce play a few times, and yeah, it just keeps selling, it keeps downtrending, and it's not really ideal anymore. And I guess I'll go over the setups. I did have a few trades with this one. I did buy initially 100 shares at 9.52, and this was at 1.30. So why did I take into consideration to buy right here? It was right here when I took a buy at 1.30 because it was looking like it was trying to finally hit a bottom somewhere and try to bounce. And I think 1.30 was also offering a support. No, not too much, but it just looked like it was trying to do it right then and there. And then I did cut it the next minute, 9.53 at 125. Sure, that was like the very bottom of the candle, but I'm never gonna take a chance with something like this. This thing had like a 40% drop from the $2 level as low as the 120. So when I'm in it right here at this 130 level at 952, and then it looks like it's gonna break the day low the next candle, I'm not gonna take a chance, even if it looks like it's going to break the day low, and then it officially doesn't and it bounces back. I'm not gonna take the chance of waiting for the day low to break because that's just how I don't I don't trade like that. When it looks like it's gonna break the day low and that's my risk level, I'll cut it. And again, even if it doesn't like it did here and it bounces, that's totally fine. So I did have that first trade right there, and then at 9.55 I was in at a larger size, 200 shares, because I realized just having 100 shares wasn't appropriate for a $100 risk level. I did take into consideration, like what worst case scenario, it keeps breaking the day low and it starts to panic and I'm not able to get out and it goes to 20 or 30 cents. That's a little too much. So I did size up and trade 200 shares, and now I got in at 135 at 955 once it was showing that in theory it was breaking out of this 135 range and it was going to get into the 137s and continue the uptrend more. So that was the idea with that one. And then this one probably burned me the most out of all of these. I did get out the not the next minute, but 10:02, and I did it well. I just, wasn't in a stock that actually balanced and just kept selling off. It was my risk level right here at 124, and I got out 10:02 right at 125 and a half because it had this drop. It had this really weak bounce, as you can tell right here. And when it looked like it was going to break the day low, I got out of it. And this time it did break the day low, unlike the other candle right here. So that was the case with that. And yeah, unfortunately, it just didn't work out right here. It didn't, try to bounce or make a move towards VWAP or anything like that. This thing just keeps selling off. And then I did try at 1026 one more time, 200 shares, and this time I was in at 18. I will just say 119. Yeah, 119 at 1026. So that was right here. I was in at right here at this point, right when it looks like it was trying to be an inverse head and shoulders, shoulder, head, and then I thought this could be the shoulder. And I knew it was weak. I had a trend line right here, and it was looking nice because it kind of broke past the trend line a little bit, and it was that inverse head and shoulder. So in theory, it could have uptrended, and I guess you can't really call this an inverse head and shoulders perfectly because it didn't, drop a little higher than here, but to me it looks like one. And it was looking like it was trying to do it, but I did get out of it because it failed again at 1031. I got out right here in this candle at 1575. So actually maybe running the transition is when I got out, but yeah, actually 1031 right before 1032. So yeah, right here is when I got out. Yeah, it didn't work out. Now it's trading, around $1 maybe. It's going to hold the round number of $1 and officially bounce, but I lost patience with this stock. It just keeps selling off. It doesn't offer any bounces, so I don't see how it's going to do one later. I'm not, some simp who's going to try to eventually be there for it when it turns around. That's dumb. I'll give it a few tries, but after that, I'm just going to cut it and dump it. So that's pretty much it. I did see this with GTII. This was impressive. I thought it was like an ugly bull flag, and It ended up working. It was a little too fast. It broke past it here in this candle after I had a wick. So I had a wick and then it kind of broke past the line and then it made a nice move. So this one was cool. And it was also looking like a symmetrical triangle. It's kind of hard to remember how I had it. It's on the other screen. I'm guessing this wasn't it. Maybe something like this off of this point. I guess no, this looks more like a descending let me actually just switch to the other screen. This is going to be the other screen. See, I saw a symmetrical triangle. I broke the bottom part, so I wasn't interested in it anymore, and it's looking like it's trying to do something around VWAP. So yeah, that's pretty much the case right now. Really unfortunate, ugly red day. This is what I get for missing out on so many dip buys with GTII, because if I were to have actually traded the setups with GTII, I would have been super profitable, and then I would have taken the L here with GPOX, and that would have been unfortunate, but I would still be up a whole bunch of money. GTII has offered so many bounce plays, so this is what I freaking get. It's gonna be a pretty big red day compared to normally, and you know, it didn't have to be that way if I traded GTIIs, multiple panic bounce plays. That's pretty much it for right now. I don't think I'm going to look at the stock market just because of the fact I had that, you know, big L with GPOX and I just don't really want to mess with it right now. I'll make an update later if I happen to see something. If not, at the market close. Alright, it is 7:29 p.m. and I'm here to call it off. Overall, I think I'm going to be done on the day, 29 bucks and 50 cents if my math is right with this. And yeah, this was just unfortunate. The setups didn't work out with GPOX, but it actually turns out that I was fine. I had 100 shares of first trade, and that was, as you can see here, very close to a $100 risk level. I think maybe I can have a little leeway with something larger, maybe like 70 to $120. This was 80, so I actually traded too much, and I've had that fear for a really long time that I size up and then that's when all the setups start failing and I lose a bunch of money. But it actually didn't really happen the way I thought it was. I thought I was going to go to $100 risk level and then I was going to get owned. I actually just accidentally traded much larger than what I was supposed to. And then the setups didn't work out with GPOX. And for something that was down as much as 50% on the day, this was the most that it did. The best bounce, I guess, was from this 82 level to $1. So we're looking at something that is, I guess, maybe 12, not 12, but maybe around 20% max, you know, way at the end on something that dropped so much. I just don't think this was very nice. But at least it did, in theory, break past this downtrending trend line from way back here. At this point, this is what eventually made it move towards the upside. I never got to VWAP, but yeah, just unfortunate that I accidentally traded much larger than what I was supposed to, you know, on a stock that didn't play out. But in theory, if I traded the right amount of shares, it would still be a red day, but it wouldn't be as much. So I'm glad that's the case, and I don't feel that upset anymore because, you know, not all setups are going to play out. And I'm also happy to see that GTII did a very nice run up today, so I will be watching it tomorrow. And at this point where it is on the chart, this can be something that I can continue to watch for a spike, a break past the day high of today, which is 475. Is it 475? Yeah, it seems like 475 was the high. Yeah, 475. Or it can be another morning panic bounce play, and then we'll have this level to play off of. So that's going to be it for today. It didn't work out. And let me just actually, let me log into Fidelity. I just noticed I didn't have Fidelity logged in. Let me just do that just so I show my balance like I do in all the videos. Okay, I am back. As you can see, this is my balance. Settled cash right here. And my cash available to trade. Yep, that's pretty much it. That's all I have for today. Unfortunately, didn't work out with GPOX, but the silver lining is that I also traded larger than what I was supposed to. It did bounce in theory, at least it did some kind of a bounce right here. And if I were to have traded GTII's multiple panic bounce plays, I could have been well in the green. And he even did this breakout right here, which I mean, I wouldn't have really have expected it to do and continue the run, but I'm happy to see that it did something like this today. That's it for today.